This is Denny Lugs. Once again, here we are. Fucking Star Wars. I'm down in the gimmick room. I'm gonna bang this out. As usual, I don't have much time. I got kids. Let's fucking do this shit. Star Wars, man, what a touchy fucking subject. So I'm going to be as objective and unbiased and as fair as I can be. As usual, 6-point scale. I made a specific one for Star Wars this time. With movies, typically, they're going to be more specific, right? All-time classic for the creme de la creme. Fucking dog shit for the faccia de brutta da brutale. Okay? And then you're four in the middle. Great with some shit. Just good with more shit. Just okay. Barely eh. And then fucking, I spelled watchable right this time. And then the faccia brute. Okay. Here we fucking go. Also, this one here has these three shows. I'm not going to rank them. I like these two. I don't like this one. It doesn't matter. We're talking about the fucking movies. 1977, Star Wars. The OG. The shit that started it all. Just one movie. No chapter, right? No episode number originally. No subtitle, New Hope. They quickly re-released it with that shit when it was a huge hit and realized that they were going to go off the rails with this shit. Granted, I think George Lucas didn't have a plan clearly, but he did say that he always saw even this original film in the time as the middle of a story, part of a serial, like a la the Flash Gordon serials of the day. So just like you pick up in the middle of this story. What makes Star Wars so special, it changed cinema, it changed fiction. There was nothing really like exactly this. Like there was other elements, but like the combination of everything. The Flash Gordon sci-fi serials, but this is more fantasy. You incorporate the samurai movie shit. You incorporate the Western movie shit. It's just like the amalgamation of all these things for the first time. And then ever since Star Wars 1977, if there was anything that was remotely like that, it was likened to Star Wars or called a Star Wars ripoff. It really changed the game. To me, the characters, the fantasy, the adventure, the melding of the styles and themes and the tropes, the hero's journey, just like shown almost in its best, purest form. This is an all-time classic. I don't think anybody will dispute that. If you put it any lower, you're just fucking joking yourself and you're trying to hate. So get fucked. That's it. All-time classic. Star Wars. It's Star Wars. Star Wars. Empire Strikes Back. 1980. This is one of the greatest movies of all time, right? So, hold on. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. That's undisputed. It's Star Wars, but now here we are, the next level, but more and better. The themes, like the whole package of this movie, the themes of friendship and betrayal and facing your fears, all woven beautifully in a movie without a true ending, the cliffhanger ending, the middle movie of a trilogy that's done to death today. I say all these movies, all these trilogies, all this shit, it's all trying to be Star Wars. Everything's trying to be Star Wars. This was the shit then. There was no Godfather 3 yet. You know what I mean? That wasn't in the cards. This shit. They knew they were making a third when they made this. But the theme of friendship and being there for your friends. Han Solo saving Luke and Hoth. Luke coming to save Han Solo and Leia, or trying to, at Bespin, while also facing his fears of Vader, possibly too early. Han Solo meeting up with his old friend Lando, but that old friend betrays him. It all weaves together. This is a beautiful fucking movie. Plus the sci-fi, the action, the excitement, the big reveal, the "No, I'm your father," all the business. This movie is the business. All-time classic. Return of the Jedi, 1983. Okay. This movie, over the years, gets more hate. I mean, I get criticism. I can criticize it and say Ewoks are goofy. I can criticize it and say the whole middle act of this movie is kind of boring. Not much happens. Exciting save Han Solo, which begs the question: what were they gonna do if Harrison Ford was just gonna auto do the third movie anyway, because he was in Carbonite in the first place? I just think it's hilarious that he's one of the most iconic things in Star Wars, is because they didn't know if he was gonna do the third movie. Is put him in the Carbonite. What were they gonna do for the whole first act of this movie if he was just gonna do the movie? So maybe the same thing. I don't know. Can't say. I don't know. So yeah, the whole middle act of this movie, whatever. Leia being the sister, I mean, didn't need it, but it obviously created a whole mess. But whatever. But you know what? The third act of this movie, it's like the best third act in like any fantasy anything. It's an all-time classic. I don't care what you say. Don't care. Like the fight on Endor with the space battle with Luke and Vader and the Emperor. I mean, doesn't get any more exciting than that. Doesn't get any more big time than that. Doesn't get any more climax than that. Like, that's it. That's big time. That's an all-time classic. 83. Jedi. Well, there you have it, folks. I'm done ranking Star Wars. I ranked all the Star Wars movies. Take it easy. Well, no. I mean, I'd love to say that was it. I'd love to say that was it. Oh, boy. But we got all this. We got all this fucking shit, right? What the fuck? I'd like to talk about these three as a whole. Like, just real quick. They fucked this all up. I don't think it's a secret. I think everybody knows that. I think everybody knows George Lucas fucked this shit up. He didn't have a real plan. I think that you could watch the original trilogy just with what Obi-Wan says in the very first movie about Anakin, and just take that as the backstory, run with that, and you have a complete story right here. A complete fucking story. You don't need to know. You don't need to know how Vader becomes Vader. It would have been great if we got episode 1, 2, and 3 telling a good story to let us know. Like, unlike this, Rogue One, we'll get to, it's okay if you know where it's going. You know Anakin becomes evil. But it's interesting to see how. It would have been very interesting to see how it all went down. I don't think he gave a shit to or a care to do it in an interesting way. Because like this movie, I mean, this movie, if you want to call it a film with no plot really of interest, like, what's the point of this fucking movie? You don't even need episode 1 at all. Really. Like, it's fucking dog shit. It's shit. Why is Anakin a small child? Who cares? Midichlorians? Are you fucking kidding me? the thing, like the lore of your the lore of this story, of this being in tune with the force, being in tune with nature, like just having that heightened ability, that sixth sense to control things around you with your mind. Like, you want to make it biological? You're just born with it in your blood? I that's really stupid. That's not, I don't know, that's not fantasy anymore. That's not fantastical. That's fucking dumb. Yeah, just between that and he's a Jesus baby. You have a villain here in Darth Maul who has no character. He's an action figure. I mean, you have a lightsaber battle at the end. It's pretty cool. It's entertaining. But and everyone shits on Jar Jar. Jar Jar is the least of all of these movies' problems. He's just a dumb kid's character, just really dumb. I mean, yeah, you could do without it, but like, it doesn't make the movie a piece of shit. It just makes that character dumb, but doesn't make the entire movie a shit. Like, we're banging on about fucking taxes in a trade federation, and like, did we really need to set up like the Galactic Empire taking over the Republic by a beef over like a fabricated beef over trading and taxes? Like, that was the fucking Trojan horse for this whole thing. Who gives a shit? It's fucking terrible. Then they follow it up with this fucking monstrosity of like, I make my eyes fucking bleed CGI, fucking nothing is real. Now Anakin goes from a child to fucking young adult, and he's an insufferable prick, unlikable shit. They like throw away lines of all their adventures him and Obi-Wan was on. That's what we want to see. We want to see Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting together, having great adventures, becoming friends, being great friends before he is seduced by the dark side. And this is nonsense. They're not even like together, barely together this whole fucking movie. So honestly, I can sit here all day and talk about why this movie sucks. The shit relationship between Padme and Anakin, but it's like, what hasn't been said? I mean, what hasn't been said about all these prequels? Here's the thing. So these two movies are clearly fucking dog shit, right? Here's the thing that I'll never fucking understand. Never fucking understand. The love Episode 3 gets. It's one of those, like, if you are a fucking housewife that your husband beats the shit out of you every single day, on day 1 he beat the shit out of you, day 2 he beat the fucking shit out of you, and in day 3 he only just slapped you one time. So it's like, oh, okay, he only just slapped me in the face once, No, that's still terrible. It's still bad. I mean, maybe this is the worst. It's arguable what's the worst film here. Maybe this is the most watchable of the 3. I'll give it that. Kinda. But it's the most disrespectful. I mean, seriously, look. Let me talk about the whole thing. And you get the fall of Anakin here, finally. But what these prequels needed to fucking do was really show us an Anakin Skywalker that is completely pure of heart, white meat, baby face good guy, so that when he falls and is seduced by the dark side, the message is that the dark side is strong and powerful and can even corrupt the purest of hearts, the goodest of good guys, so that when you get to here, these movies, if you watch it in this order, or even if you watch these first and then go back to hammer the point home that now here is the next in line, here is Luke, and that where Anakin failed and succumbed to the dark side, also pure as heart, white meat baby face Luke Skywalker doesn't, overcomes it, and even turns his father back. And it makes this even better. When you make more content and expand lore of an already existing story, the goal is to make money. So George just wrote this shit, he didn't care, right? Let's be honest. But when you give a fuck about the art, which he could have gave a fuck, because Star Wars was going to make tons of money anyway. You could have just made it good, right? So when you expand a lore to a story, obviously the point is to make what you have existing better. Not make it worse. Not take your main villain or your most interesting character and just assassinate his character with a dumb, annoying kid, an insufferable prick young adult, and a fucking moron, because he doesn't get seduced by. It's not that absolute power corrupts absolutely, and that even the purest of heart can be tempted by the power that you can wield with the dark side. No, he's a fucking idiot. All the Jedis are idiots. They don't realize that Palpatine is the evil Sith Lord the whole time, and fucking he gets hey, join me and you can fucking do this thing. You can save your fucking wife. Oh, okay. That's it. Like, what? Because the Tusken Raiders killed his mom? That's it. That's why he's a fucked up motherfucker. Like, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. This whole shit is bullshit. Stop giving episode 3 praise. No, Anakin, I'm not gonna die in childbirth. Stop it. All of you motherfuckers. Cody Rhodes, it's the second best. Stop it. You're kidding yourselves, man. This is all bad. This is all fucking dog shit. And it all just it makes this worse. Actively. So just get rid of it. Just forget about it. Just take what Obi-Wan said in the first one. Take it in your head. Use that. That's your backstory. That's it. That's all you fucking need. I'm tired of this shit getting the praise. It's fucking shit. And the whole fucking, it's memes. I have the high ground. The whole overblown fucking lightsaber fight. Like, get the fuck out of here. This shit is nonsense. Oh, I forgot. Yoda fucking backflipping and doing nonsense with a lightsaber in the second one. Like, this is all character assassination of all the things that were so great in here. Yoda being like the funny old guy that uses his wits and is more subdued, and showing you that you don't need all the flash and all the everything. It's all about, you being in tune with the Force and, all that shit. And then, no, it's just fucking do backflips and have lightsaber, It's just completely assassinating the great elements of these movies. So, again, everybody, it's been done a million times. Let's go to this bullshit now. Well, The Force Awakens. Okay? Now, these movies, 99, 02, 05. In episode 3, I remember when Darth Vader yelled no, that me and the people that I was with in the movie theater, me and good old Paulie Walnuts just laughed. Like, out loud in the movie theater, like looking at each other like, is this really happening? Just a funny side note. 10 years later, The Force Awakens. A divisive movie. Everybody gives it shit for being just like the first Star Wars movie. And in a lot of ways it does. I think it's a good movie with some flaws. Like, I think that I will say I really liked it when I first saw it in the movie theater opening day. After the prequels, it really felt like Star Wars was back. It felt fun. It felt like a Star Wars adventure. It felt good. But I've maybe seen it 4 or 5 times now, and I like it less every time. I still like it. It's just, it moves way too fucking fast. Nothing gets to breathe. it is a lot of similar things. Everyone, oh, it's exactly A New Hope. It's not exactly a fucking New Hope. There's a lot of similar things, yes. And that was by design. It's trying to make you feel the first one again. And that's okay in a soft reboot. Where as long as enough is different, and I think they would have fully succeeded if it wasn't for Starkiller Base. I think the orphaned hero on the desert planet, and then the adventure they go on with the wise old man to the evil base to save someone, I think that's fine. That's just the tropes of fantasy, hero's journey, Star Wars, right? So it's okay if there's that, because there's how they do it is different enough. How they get there is different enough. I think what really hammers it home is the Starkiller Base, where it's just like, oh, Death Star again, but bigger. And even Han Solo like makes a joke about it in the movie, almost a fourth wall break. So it is a little ridiculous. So this one, I will say, it's good. With it's a lot of bullshit. And there's some bad comedy too. And the whole scene with there's like a whole scene with like these like squid monsters that I don't know. Yeah, it's still a good movie. Then, hold on, let me take a sip of water for the working man. Rogue One. People really love this movie. I think I do not, for the life of me, understand why anyone likes this fucking movie. It's fucking dog shit. It's boring. The characters are boring. It doesn't feel like fucking Star Wars. I'm sorry, Mads Mikkelsen was in this bullshit. Here is the difference, right? I am so tired of the prequel shoehorning shit type stuff, because you don't need to know this fucking story. In the first Star Wars movie, there's a one line that says, a lot of people died to get these Death Star plans. They bow their head in reverence and we move on. Because how we get the plans to the Death Star is not fucking important. Because if they were fucking important, like the plans are important, but how we got them to the story is not fucking important. Because if it was, they would have elaborated on it and it would have been a fucking thing. It was just a line. Just to make a note of that we're at war, there's shit going on, people gave their lives for this important information so that we can go save the day. Them going to say, Luke using the Force for the first time to blow up the Death Star, that's what's important to the story. Not these fucking nameless, fucking boring characters who we have an entire third act where we know that A, they're all going to die because we know that already. B, it's a bullshit whole third act. And I remember this movie coming out and getting praised like, oh, it's kind of boring, but the third act is so exciting. It's Star Wars. It's blah, 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 blah. If you know that they're all going to die, but the plans get out somehow still, then why is the third act like 10 to 12 different times obstacles where they almost don't get the plans out? She almost drops the plans down a fucking shaft. They almost get shot by the guy. This thing almost like they need to flip the switch. The guy almost doesn't flip the switch and almost dies doing it to open up the thing so they can go through the door, and the ship can almost get shot down so they can pass it off to the guy, and the guy almost gets killed by Vader, and he almost gets the thing through the door. I'm not on the edge of my fucking seat because I know that the plan it's eye rolling, overblown, overdone, just for content to make you give a shit. Why do I give a shit? oh, they explained the biggest plot hole in fucking Star Wars. Why is there a ventilation shaft on the Death Star? Who gives a fuck why? It's just there. Who gives a fuck? It's not important. It's not a... Even if there was that little tiny hole in a shaft, even though it doesn't make sense, okay, you don't need to ventilate in space. Whatever. The things blow up and there's fucking flames in space. That doesn't make sense either, right? But, like, they wouldn't think that some Force-using motherfucker... There's no one using the Force anymore. They killed all the fucking Jedi. There's no other Sith who... By the way, in the prequels, they never even talk about who the Sith even really are, but that's a fucking another thing. So they don't think fucking someone's gonna come along and, like, make the impossible shot. You can't physically do that shot unless you use the Force. That's the fucking point of the climax of a Star Wars. He turned off the navigation deal, closed his eyes, and used the fucking Force. Why are we taking away from that we need to... Who gives a fuck why we have the plans? This is a useless movie. It's a piece of shit. I'm sorry. And Vader makes a pun. Vader makes a pun. A pun. All right? See it for yourself. I'm not going to repeat that shit. Also, does it need to go up to the literal minute before the first Star Wars movie happens? It's just everything about it. It's fucking horrible. So now, after Force Awakens just was middling with their decisions, we pass it off, a lot of mystery box stuff with J.J. Abrams. We pass it off to this guy, fucking Rian Johnson. And he does some interesting things. I will say he does some interesting stuff in this movie. He makes some interesting decisions. Does he succeed with those decisions? Let me see. Whoops. Hold on. Okay. Let me see. Does he make some? No, this movie's fucking dog shit. This movie is the fucking arrogance. The arrogance. As much as you can shit on J.J. Abrams for making silly mystery box shit, the arrogance to come in and take over Star Wars. Write it. I mean, yes, they gave him the keys. They said, write and direct it. The arrogance to just take shit. It's one thing to take what was built in the first one there in this trilogy and then go in your own direction with what was given to you. It's another thing to take what was given to you and throw it all away and do something else. And the something else you do is shit. I'm sorry, it's shit. Luke's character is shit. Rey's character is shit. The story, this bullshit with the fucking rebels in space with the running out of fuel. We're talking about fucking fuel. And the fucking listen to purple-haired lady and don't question her authority, but she's not going to tell like her second in command what she's doing, so it causes a mutiny for no reason. And the bullshit hyperspace thing, that doesn't make sense. I don't care how you rationalize it. It doesn't make sense. You can't just fling shit into hyperspace and kamikaze shit. That doesn't work. That doesn't make sense. That literally doesn't make sense. And I don't need to explain that to you why it doesn't make sense in this lore. If you should know why it doesn't fucking make sense. The atrocious, everybody knows the Finn and Rose dumb side story. The climax is the dumb fucking Force projection, Luke Skywalker shit, brushing the dirt off his shoulders. I mean, this movie's a fucking meme. It's a fucking joke. The fucking blue titty milk, the green titty milk, throwing the lightsaber over his shoulder, the fucking, just everything about this fucking movie. It's so much so, everything about this fucking movie, that you come in with fucking, I mean, I could really, like, I've, like, for how many years? It came out in 2017, it's 5 years later. I've broken this down to death. I honestly, like, If you like this movie, you know why you like it. If you hate this movie, already know all the bad shit about it. Oh, Phasma, thrown away, garbage, waste of Gwendolyn Christie. You already fucking know. So, like, do I need to really waste my breath? And it's like, they fucked up so goddamn much so that when you then give it back to fucking J.J. Abrams, and he tries to cram in all the shit he would have done in the second one and makes this bloated fucking mess of a fucking movie, and it's fucking dog shit. I didn't even watch this whole fucking thing. Like, I honestly, I couldn't even get through it. I couldn't even get through this fucking movie. I tapped the fuck out. I know everything that happens in it. I've seen it broken down. I've seen every bit of this movie discussed what happens. No thank you. No thank you. I don't want any, sir. I'm done. You beat me down into submission with the fucking Star Wars. I'm over it. Get fucked. Palpatine, they fly now. Rey Skywalker, fucking, she gets with goddamn Kylo Ren bullshit, nonsense. Fucking, you have to join her grandfather, but he also wants her to strike him down. Mixed signals, bullshit. They do your on your left moment with everybody, or the fucking, and they tried to do goddamn what's that movie called? Endgame. Avengers Endgame, with everybody showing up. It's just like, it's so, oh man, I can't. They just went downhill and just fucked it all up. I mean, you had these fucking shit movies to learn from. Have a fucking plan. Sit down and have a plan. This was promising. Force Awakens was fucking promising, man. Despite its problems. It was interesting. It was fun. Star Wars was fucking fun again. And then you guys just, yeah. So anyway, I never watched fucking Solo. I don't care. I know it was before I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't care how he got his fucking name or his fucking dice. I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. Mando's is great. Boba Fett is fine. Obi-Wan Kenobi's a piece of shit. That's a different conversation for another time. So there you have it. There you have it. I mean, this is honestly it. This is honestly it. Fucking shit. Just, I had never seen something I love get so just defiled, besmirched, just yeah, horrendous. And all right, hold on, guys. I'm just joking, all right? It's not this lopsided, okay? This is just a bit. This is not the real fucking ranking. Let me show you what it really is, okay? Let me fix it. There. All right. Remember, I got kids. Fuck you.